If you'd like to hear the full episode or any of the scenario archives, be sure to subscribe and click the link in our bio. Also, like and follow the Scenario Radio Show on all of our social media platforms for more real talk with the playlist. Peace.
All right, we're back here on the Scenario Radio Show with our episode entitled Take Care. We're talking about Black men's health and why it matters. And of course, we're talking about health. We want to talk about the whole person, including the emotional and mental health. And who better to do that with than our friend of the show, Eric Capehart. What's going on with you, man?
Hey, Eric. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's all good. It's going. I'll tell you that, man. It's the season for mental health awareness, and it's going. And so I'm glad you guys are doing this series. I'm glad to be a part of it as always with you guys.
Yeah. All right. One of the things we obviously, just with you alone, we've obviously talked about mental health quite a bit over the years. Since you've been on this journey to spread the gospel of mental health to people, have you found in Black men that there has been any shift or any change? Does it seem like more Black men are more receptive now? And if so, what is that? How does that shown up for you?
Yeah, I definitely think more of us are being receptive to the idea of going to see a therapist. I see it all the time. Just yesterday, I was working with a guy, he's a guy, from the streets, to be honest, that's the way he would describe himself. And he's got some issues that he's ready to tackle because people around him are telling him like, bro, you need to get some help. And so he came in. And so we've done a few sessions and he's like, man, this is changing my life. And so he was telling one of his other homies about it. And he was like, man, you going to counseling, man? Like, you going to sit and tell another man about your problems? And he was like, no, it's not like that, man. It's just I'm talking to him the most, and he's just giving me things to look at and things to consider. And so I definitely think, man, that the tide is turning. More of us, and when I say us, I mean men, Black men specifically, are reaching out for counseling. And the thing is that, it's not so much about just finding a Black male counselor. It's not so much about race and gender, but it's really about the relatability factor, which is, that's my secret weapon. It's all about finding somebody that you can relate to so that you can be vulnerable and actually go to therapy and get the benefits of it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad to hear that a lot of Black men are receptive to the mental health aspect of their health as a whole. What are some things that Black men should be looking out for that should ring a bell to say, hey, I might need to go and talk to somebody? What are some symptoms or scenarios or things that they're going through that you could say, hey, you might want to consider reaching out and tending to your mental health?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, like, if you are a man that's dealing with anger, like if you're easily angered, if you're easily blowing up on people or like always on edge, always feeling irritated, just you can feel that. If those are some of the things you're dealing with, because I'll be honest with you, KB, a lot of the root causes of my male clients, it has something to do with anger. And so if you are feeling that, like, man, you want to snap, or if you are the person that's, punching walls or finding yourself in fights all the time, getting locked up because you're fighting in public and all that stuff, that's definitely a sign that you might need to get some help. And if you are a man that's a fatherless man like myself, there's a lot of emotional and psychological struggles that come along with that. And so I would say if you're dealing with any type of anger issues, or if you're dealing with any type of issues as it relates to an absent father, I'd say those are two good entry points to consider therapy.
Wow. That probably affects a lot of people too.
I mean, it does. I mean, like I said, even me, like, I'm a fatherless man myself. I have a father, of course, but that relationship is not what I like for it to be. And the struggle for me is that, all right, I'm struggling. I can kind of deal with it better, but now I have children. You know what I'm saying? That I want them to know who their grandfather is, right? But because of our relationship being the way that it is, my kids haven't even met their grandfather yet. And so that's something that I actually personally have been working through for years, actually. And so, it's just one of those things, man. And so anger and any type of issue with dad issues, I think it'd be a good step to try to reach out to somebody.
Van, if you don't mind, I have a quick little follow-up question.
Go ahead.
So I know, I don't want to just say in the Black community, but I guess just in society in general, we always kind of expect the women to kind of stand by the man and, help him through whatever he's got going on. But what are some of the, kind of similar to what KB was asking, what are some of the, I don't want to say red flags, but something that a woman can be like, I don't think I can help you through this, because we'll try to we'll try to help them till we can't help no more now. But I don't know what it is. What's something that we just? Go ahead, Van.
I want to piggyback on that question because there's something that I was just thinking about as well. One of the common narratives that I see a lot more now is I see men talking about we have feelings too, and we want to be able to talk about our feelings. And I think it's important that men are able to talk about their feelings. I think it's important for them to be able to do it in counseling or among the people that love them. It's good to do that, but that there's a time that there's a difference. And I think that a lot of men get the impression that it's a woman's burden to be able to listen to everything. And with some of these things need to be things that need to be worked out with a professional. So what is it that what is it that we're misunderstanding about how the importance of certain areas of communication for men that, I think a lot of times we may not be willing to adapt to, I guess.
So some red flags off the rip are like, if you're with someone that's always maybe like crying or isolating himself, substance abuse, like not use. I mean, if you drink, that's cool, or smoke, whatever you want to do, but like abuse, those are some red flags. And Van, for us, for the men, the communication challenge is when we do have a person, whether it's a male or a female or whoever that's our support, we don't always know the right words to use to describe how we feel, so we just don't say anything. Right. And so one of my strongest tools that I use in therapy is it's a simple feelings chart. It's just a circle with all these different feelings on it. And I teach men and any of my clients how to effectively communicate how they feel and the reason they feel that they feel what they're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you tell somebody how you feel, and this happens in relationships. I mean, I'm married. What happens is if I tell you how I feel, you might take it personal and feel like, well, you're the cause of it, or you feel like you have to fix it. You may not have to fix it. I just want to tell you, I feel sad because you didn't show up or you didn't call me last night when you said you would. And that's it. I feel sad because you didn't call me last night when you said you would. Just that simple statement, it allows the person to identify how they feel sad. And the reason they feel sad is because you didn't call me when you said you would. Now, that's different than, I'm upset because you didn't call me last night. You will receive that differently. It's like when you take ownership for how you feel, generally the receiver can receive it in a way that it was intended. Like, I just want to share with you how I feel. I'm not trying to say you're causing this, but I feel sad because you didn't call me last night. Now, of course, you were a part of it, but it's more so about how I feel because of what happened. It could have been anybody. But I think that's what it is, man. And we just got to learn how to communicate how we feel, because we only know anger and happiness or any of the negative emotions. Those are the only ones we know how to express. We don't know how to tell somebody that we feel overjoyed, or we don't, we just anger. That's it. Or I'm mad, or I'm angry, or I'm happy. Like that's about the extent of a lot of people's awareness of all the range of emotions that they can feel. And knowing how to say it is cool. Don't blame a person. Like, you made me feel upset last night. Nobody want to hear that. You're going to put them on automatically. They're going to be on the fence. Like, I made you feel that way. No. Well, if you say, well, I feel this way because of this, you're owning your feelings, and the other person should feel less convicted per se.
This is the Scenario Radio Show. Real talk with a playlist.